And I came back for the dead oak. Of course, it fought me. I got it down okay, but when I went to cut it, the first horizontal cut, bound the saw, grabbed a hold of it, and it did not want to let go. So the tree, when it came down, was 2-3 feet above ground. It was just resting on whatever it was resting on up there. So I went about in here and grabbed a hold of it and lifted it, which would have, well, it was trying to release the saw, but not enough. So put it back down. Come back and think about it for a bit. Then I went back down the tree a little farther down and lifted it and lifted it and lifted it and lifted it until I got it shoulder height, jiggling, jostling, trying to get the saw blade to let go. No, it wouldn't. So finally, lifted it until it was almost vertical, jostling the whole time and moving side to side, because just the tip of the chain and bar were held at that point. Finally, I just lifted it vertically. It was threatening to tip over the other way. Finally, the saw let go. Okay. So I lower it a little bit. Where's Suki? Well, she wasn't sitting where I had her sit because I had told her, okay. So let the tree down. A sploosh, and I looked back and it came down that far from her tail or her rear end. Oh, Jesus Christ. All right, well, it's down and it's sectioned. Now I just got to carry the chunks back to the car. I didn't bring the wheelbarrow. I didn't want to have to push the wheelbarrow full of wood all the way down the road, although, come to think of it, I push the wheelbarrow that far easily when I get a load way out in the woods. So, and I'm driving on a smooth driveway. Too late, smart. This morning when I got up, had my coffee on the deck, it was, well, at 5:30, humidity was 96%. It hasn't gone down much at all. It's cool. Temperature must be in the low 60s. I think she's going to have to sacrifice her space for just a little bit of a trip back to the house. Come on. Good girl. This is some of the hardest wood. I think it's oak, but look at the fine grain, fine rings, Jesus. Since it had no leaves on it, couldn't tell. If it is oak, it's bur oak. Bark is thicker. This is the dead one, by the way, that I talked about on Thursday. Okay, Suki. You get to guard space now until I get back. All right? Good girl. Well, there is one important item I forgot to bring out here, and I'm not in the habit of using it yet. That's a sweatband. Its major reason for being is to soak up, absorb the sweat that's running down your forehead into your eyes. Oh my God, sting? I wouldn't really mind sweat drooling into my eyes if it didn't sting, but it must be the salt. All right. 3 more pieces here. One thing I forgot to do was cut off the stump. I'd like to cut it off. Oh, there's a good 10-inch piece of wood there. If I remember when I get back. I'll bring the chainsaw back out here and take that. I hate to leave that perfectly good chunk of firewood. Are you gonna stay? And bring this along. This is a nice knuckle. Oops. Oh well. That'll have to do. Okay, Suki. Are you happy I'm done? Yeah. There. Another yellow flag tape. This is the trail that I made this summer, beginning in June, when we all got to hear the rose-breasted grosbeaks singing us along on the project. So, this is the property line, obviously. This is where the game trail used to continue up from down here on our land, used to continue its way through onto Dennis the neighbor's land. This is one of the other end of the trail that I showed you when I was walking on his property a couple, 2-3 days ago. This is how much it's grown up since then. Since May, June. So the project that I have been wanting to do this summer is connect this game trail with the new trail that I made right there, going that way, going down through the woods, into and through the woods, to Otter Pond. And I thoughtfully put yellow flags and I go between them. Keep your eyes peeled for dead or dying oak that I can take for firewood. So the trail's gonna go through here. I'm hearing a thumping noise that I thought was a partridge way late in the season. So that it's very nice how this is camouflaged and hidden from anybody knowing there's a trail here. I think that's going to have to change though. Just looking through here, there's a vague opening. I might need to make the trail coming from there because it's already half done. Anyway, we come between these trees and then angle with another yellow flag there. around the birch and down. Don't know if you can see it. Yellow flag right there. I don't have my glasses on. What's the matter with me? Yellow flag just to the right of the big, what is that? Oak. Holy mackerel, that's a bur oak. Well, a little further down is another flag. So my guess is, what was I guessing? Yellow doesn't indicate to the left or right, apparently. Anyway, I'm going down through there. And that virtually opens up down there, opens up on opening where the path to the pond goes. It's a fairly easy trail to make if I just get after it. Things like this branch right here need to be taken out. It's dead, does no good. The one above it I don't think needs to be taken out because it's going to be high enough when you're going downhill. I have not seen oaks that need to be taken down. That's a red oak right here, this beauty with the fork. I don't like trees with forks because that's a lot of wood sort of going to waste, but that fork is dead and broken off. No, I'm not going to take live any tree. I want the shade back here. So, you want to help me with that? Good. My son Caleb and his bride, as of last October, they came out yesterday afternoon. They live in Grand Marais, Minnesota, so I don't get to see them very often. That's about a 4-hour drive. They came out and we sat and drank iced tea and were very safely isolated from each other. She's 8 months pregnant. We are both, Caleb and I, very concerned. She's in her early 30s, I think, so somewhat young, but don't want to take any chances with her. Anyway, we sat around, then I wanted to bring him back on the trails. Caleb expressed, or she did, some concern about wood ticks. And I said nope, and I told him about how wood ticks take a vacation in the midsummer. So we came out here and walked, and within 10 minutes Caleb told me he picked a wood tick off his leg. And ain't that just the way it goes? Well, that's the only tick we saw. I didn't see any. He was wearing shorts. So let's go take a look at this natural little opening. Ooh, quite a hole. Well, this is the cat's pajamas. Yeah, this is really, really good. There's my first piece of trail obstruction. Unobstructing now. All right, so that's where it's going to go in. Well, we have a perfect day. 70 degrees. I haven't even looked at the humidity. I don't need to. It's where it should be in the summer for us to live a happy life. Well, I'm back out. I'm going to continue the trail down to Otter Pond. Let's go take a look at it. Make sure of my route calculations. Well, that branch needs to come off. Look at that. The one very nice thing about this trail is it's going to be super fun, easy to mow, because they're unlike the longer trail that I made beginning in June. That has a lot of ups and downs and hummocks. Oh man, it's getting a mower in there is really not fun. But this is beautifully flat. Yeah. I'm gonna love that. I am loving it. But getting the mower in here is gonna be a piece of cake. I've been looking at these oaks. 2, 4, 6, 8 bur oaks. And I thought, well, we could afford to lose one of those for firewood. I get over here and look up. Dad, you see the brown leaves? Manna from heaven. And this is the biggest of them. That's very decent size. And I'm looking at which way I can fell it, and it can fall right through there. That's where the game trail is. This one might take a little bit of a hit, but not terribly. It won't hurt it. And talking about the flat path, wheelbarrow will come right in here. God, some days everything just goes in your favor. All right, I better quit yapping and get to work.